Much of today's epidemic of toxic polarization is driven by how we talk with like-minded people about those on the other side, and the illusion that vanquishing the other side will lead to a political promised land. I'm Bill Doherty. I'm one of the co-founders of Braver Angels, and I am the chief designer of the Braver Angels workshops. Braver Angels is bringing conservatives and liberals together to depolarize America. We think of polarization not as disagreement about politics, but as a disregard and contempt for one another. That's what we're concerned about. We're not concerned about sharp political differences. This country was built on sharp political differences. Now, though, we are starting to regard people who are different from us as enemies, as dangerous to the nation, and we can't run the country together. We have paralyzed government. I grew up in Philadelphia and grew up Irish Catholic. I was a debater in high school, loved the clash of ideas. Had a father who was a gladiator around all things political, and so I chose the opposite side from him on any particular issue. My father and I connected through arguing. I was hoping to change his mind or get him to see the light. And I realized I needed to let go of trying to change him, accept him as who he was. And I felt much better with him and had a better relationship after that. I knew I wanted to work with families in some way. My counseling specialty is working with couples on the brink of divorce. So I'm used to working with people who are at great odds.
It is now 11:30 in the East. You hear that chime? Donald Trump has won the state of Florida.
After the 2016 presidential election, two long-term colleagues of mine decided to pull together 10 Hillary Clinton voters and 10 Donald Trump voters in Southwest Ohio for a weekend a few weeks after the election. And I said, well, that's brave. And then he says, would you be willing to facilitate? We're going to begin with introductions. And then why you accepted the invitation to come here for this weekend.
The day after the election, I called my friend, and they didn't talk to me for over a week, over an election.
We let one thing, our political beliefs, divide us and make us call each other names and think each other is crazy.
I knew something good was going to happen when we asked people why they came.
What got me here is I have grandchildren, 5 of them. I had 3 sons. They don't have a future if we don't get this pulled together.
They said, we have to get past this animosity. We're small town folks here. We have schools to run and roads to build and hospitals to maintain. Our kids play with each other. We can't live with this divisiveness. And I thought, this is microcosm of the country here. And we laid out the ground rules that we're not here to try to get anybody to change their mind, and we're going to listen to one another. And I asked for permission to steer them if they got out of line from what we were there to do. And it was really, really powerful.
There wasn't a whole lot of agreement overall, that there was something usually from like 1 or 2 nuggets. I'm like, yeah, I agree on that. I agree on that.
It was contentious at times.
To me, that was honestly the most offensive topic, because I myself, as a gay male, I have a family.
But people hung in there with each other. And when it was over, we collectively decided this has to go on. It can't stop here. And what happened then was like lightning in a bottle. Braver Angels was inspired by the words of Abraham Lincoln, who not only called on Americans to summon the better angels of our nature, but called on us to find the courage, our best parts, in order to avoid a civil war. The theme here is about depolarizing within oneself, how we can individually come to grips with the part of us that stereotypes, demonizes, and disparages. You're there to look at yourself and look at your own group. And people do a lot of soul searching in that. One of the things I've learned in Braver Angels is that it's a healthier way to live in this world, to live in it without having contempt, without having exaggerated stereotypes, without dismissing, without a caustic ridicule. Those are harmful to oneself. There can be political leaders, parties, people uphold policies that I am very troubled by. But you don't have to walk around as a gladiator, taking on the world and getting yourself all worked up all the time. That's our choice. And I'm not talking about not caring, but we get to decide our own level of emotional equilibrium during this very difficult time. Because this belief that the country is going to come around before long to see the wisdom of my side. Well, around many big issues, that's not going to happen. Neither side is going to vanquish the other. And so we're going to have to figure out a way to get along and run the country together.